Pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Orange, Fran Brown, brought to you every week by Great Lakes Honda City. Coach, great to have you on. How you doing today?
I'm good. How about yourself?
We're doing well. We thought it would be a good idea to start with the Tennessee game. So if we could go back, no, we're kidding. We're not going to talk Tennessee today. We're going to start with UConn. Okay. He cracked a smile. I wasn't sure how that was going to go over. He cracked a smile. Let's start with UConn. And I was going to say tale of two halves, but it was really a tale of the first three quarters and then what happened down the stretch of that game. Now that you've had a chance to look at it, how do you assess those first three quarters? What led to, I guess, that slow start by the offense for the first three quarters?
Just really not capitalizing in the red area. I mean, if you look at it, we were driving down the field. Even for the first possession, we was able to drive down the field, and then we came up short in the 4th and 1. Missed field goal, just a couple different things that we didn't do. So when I look at it, that's really what it was, right? We just didn't execute at the end when we needed to execute. We got in the red area 4 times. So if you take those 4 times that we got down there in the high red, it's you should at least, you hoping to have at least 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. Then it's already 20 in the first half. But that just didn't happen that way. So I'll get it working.
Coach, to some of the fans, it's as easy as just the next guy is going to fix things immediately. You've had time to look at the tape now. How much of what happened offensively is on the quarterback and how much is it other things?
It's everybody. It's a mixture of everybody, right? We were just being straightforward, right? Too many guys taking different plays of making a mistake. If every guy on the offense had a mistake during a different play, then that's 11 plays that we could have messed up on, right? And then take for granted you subbing other guys in too and different ones. So I just think it was a matter of we had too many mistakes, right? Miscues where, damn, I was supposed to run this route. Wow, I read the defense wrong, or I looked at that wrong. It was just too many mistakes that we had. So once we get that all cleaned up and fixed, it'll be a little better.
Along those lines, it wasn't one guy that led to the deficit. It wasn't one guy that led to the comeback, right? I mean, Steve Angeli played great down the stretch, but Dan Villari had a big catch. Justice Ross Simmons had a couple of big catches. Defensively, Antoine Delorier coming up big there in the overtime. Can you speak to, I guess, the end of that game and the fact that, the guys were able to put behind, that poor first three quarters and then find a way to win that game? What performances, I guess, stood out to you from an individual perspective down the stretch of that game?
I just thought individually they all dug deep and they worked their butts off. They fell back on that training, right? We always talk about you'll fall back on your training, right? If you keep working, just fall back on your training. Don't worry about trying to make a play. Just worry about the next play that comes, and it'll come your way through execution. Honestly, just being dark. And I felt as though there was a lot of guys that done that. I mean, if you look at the overtime drive from a defensive perspective, we was at a 3rd down, then we got a PI, at which we had to move up and start first down all over again, and the guys didn't flinch, right? And just for them to understand and know that's who you are, and that's what you can do all 4 quarters, not just at the end, right? And I think that we started to play complementary football the last 6 minutes of the game and went back and forth, and we got a chance to have one more point to know.
You talk about falling back on your training, and we were laying out some of the numbers before you came on. You guys are 8-2 in one possession games since you took over as head coach. 3-0 in overtime games. You've had a few of these epic comebacks. Between the Virginia Tech game last year, the Miami game, now this one against UConn. What is it about falling back on the training, what you guys are doing in practice that seems to give you, and like I said to Paulie, that's not a coincidence. These numbers are not a coincidence. What is it about what you guys are doing in practice that allows you to be so successful in these fourth quarter games and these one possession games?
I would just say trained behavior becomes instincts, right? And we naturally practice hard. In the games, eventually, you're going to fall back on your training. And I think the guys do that. You start to understand that our culture, guys care about each other, so you start to play more for the guy next to you. And sometimes, man, in the beginning, you start to look at it, sometimes guys are playing not to lose more than they're playing just to go out and win. Like, let's go win. Let's go beat the brakes off of them, right? Let's go out and have fun. And that's not always getting done, I think, right away. So I just think trained behavior becomes instincts, and then guys just fall back on the training, and they're just able to go. They're able to compete. They're able to finish. So compliments to them, right, to the players and the coaching staff. I got a bunch of great coaches who, at the end of the game, I think they do a good job, and they relax, they stay calm in the chaos, and they call some of their better plays throughout the game.
I'm sure you know this. The sprints have obviously made national headlines, the post-game sprints, and everybody seems to have an opinion on this. Some really like what you did. Some have been critical. I just wanted to give you a moment to respond to that. Is there anything that you want to say to those that I believe Greg Olsen, former Panthers tight end, said that he thought it was performative and that that's something you do behind closed doors. Is there anything you want to say to respond to some of the criticism that's been said?
I don't really know Greg Olsen, so I don't want to talk about him at all, to be honest. He was a good football player. For me, I told the players we was going to do something. If you know me, then you'll understand what happened. But then once I seen all those people still out there, there's certain things that you can't do. It becomes a different situation. So it was not like I could go run up and do the things that we would do to make sure that guys are running after practice and getting it done. So I said, hey, just come in, we'll handle it tomorrow. We play Friday, so we got an opportunity to do other stuff. But I don't know Greg Olsen. I think he had a really good career, and I wish him the best. I never spoke about him, how he played, or anything that he does. So I'm just really focused on me and our football team.
All right, Coach, maybe a little scouting report on Colgate, what you're expecting.
I think they're a good football team, man. I think their coach, as y'all know, we all know him, he's known for scoring, right? So I think he'll do a really good job scoring. Like all season when you just watch him in the first two games. I think his quarterback, Zach's a good player. He got a couple of running backs. One receiver that's really good. Trajan Saunders, who damn near leads the country in receiving yards and stuff, so he does a real good job. So, I mean, he has a good team. He did a really good job when he was at Cortland, and I know that he's turning this program around, and they scored a lot of points in their first two games, so I'm excited. I know it's like a homecoming for him. He's very happy to have this opportunity to come up here, and I'm happy to get the coach against him in this game, so we're thankful for the opportunity we have to play against them Friday night.
I know you obviously didn't make the schedule, Coach, but the FCS game is game number 3, right? Do you like the fact that you test yourself and then again, I know you're getting ready for an opponent here, but this is an opportunity to work on some things as well. Do you like where this FCS opponent falls on the schedule, or do you wish that in the future would you like to see it first?
Whatever. I just like the schedule. It's cool. I respect all our opponents. I think that every week we play good football teams. I think this is a real good football team with a tremendous head football coach who's going to have his guys ready to come and compete against us. So wherever your team falls on the schedule, we're going to be ready to play them. We just want to go out and compete.
We always like to ask you about health of the team, any injuries we should have our eye on. Devin Grant again warmed up against UConn, did not play. Any update on him or anybody else?
Yeah, he probably won't play again this weekend. We're thinking about him not playing this weekend. I think we got a couple other guys. I'm not 100% sure. We got to practice today. Then I'll find out a little bit more. But Dad probably won't play again this weekend. Emmanuel Ross probably won't play again this weekend. And after practice today, I'll find out from looking at guys and seeing who will and won't play.
All right, fair enough. And Paulie asked you about a scouting report on Colgate. How about just big picture? What are you hoping to get out of this game? As you move on to conference play the following week?
A win. I'm hoping to win. I'm hoping to go get a win.
Of course.
What else are we looking to get out of the game? I'm looking to win. I'm looking for our team to grow a little bit closer. I'm just looking for a win, man. That's all I'm really looking for. I'm looking for the people in this building, for us to all feel good about ourselves, right? And just for us to be able to focus on us, right? I'm focused on everybody here, everybody that I work with, all these guys, right? Just not trying to really be concerned in it with anything else except for getting a win and finishing healthy, so that way we can go in the conference and get ready to attack the ACC, man, and have some fun. ACC conference, but first we got to focus on Colgate because they got a tremendous head coach and a great staff. And we want to just be able to go play our best on Friday night.
All right, last question from me. You mentioned something there that I want to follow up on. You said, bring these guys closer together. In hearing Sean McDermott talk after that Bills comeback on Sunday night, he talked about that. He said, as a coach, you're looking for something early in the season to bring everybody close together. And he was talking about how that comeback win, he feels like could be that catalyst, that fuel for bringing everybody close together as the season progresses here. Do you feel like that may have happened Saturday for you guys, that you're up against it, you're trailing late in the game to find a way to win that one? Do you feel like a win like that can bring the guys closer together? Have you seen that?
I think it absolutely does, but it's still the relationships and the communication that we communicate on and off the field. Right? It's genuine relationships that brings people closer together. Of course, things happen in football, but it's genuine relationships, right? It's the love that we spread every day throughout our football team. It's the communication. It's how we care about each other when someone's going through something, that we're all there for them. It's everything that's just genuine. It got to be real, right? And that win helped a lot, but it's what we done the day before that win, right? When we had a little situation that we went through, a little team project that we done. It's what we're gonna do tomorrow, right? It's just the time you spend together, right? I think the more time you spend together, the more you care about your brother, the more you start to truly love each other, and then it becomes second nature that I'm gonna work for you.
All right, Coach. Well said. Appreciate you coming on as always. We'll see you tonight over at Myers Creek, 7 to 8 o'clock.
I bet. Y'all be safe.
All right, you as well. Fran Brown joining us as always. I was going to say every Thursday. This week it's a Wednesday because of the Friday night game. And again, Myers Creek tonight, 7 to 8 o'clock. His interview brought to you every week by Great Lakes Honda City.
Good job, Steve.
Yeah, we'll take our first time out. We'll open it up to the phone lines, 315-437-7644. We are back after this.